So hi everyone, I don't know how many of you are watching. I'm really sorry about the delay. I've had some tech issues today, so I'm up and running now. Yay! In a dressing gown at that. So don't say I don't give you content that you don't want. Um, so for anyone watching later, I am Marissa. I am a writer and a journalist and a publishing editor based in Melbourne, in Australia. And I do live streams 3 times a week so that I get to work on writing my crime fiction novel, and other people get to work with me, and we get to chat about the writing process. Yeah, I handwrite my novel, and then I type it into a program called YWriter 6. And pretty much, it's my second novel that I'm writing. My first is unpublished. So if you know a publisher keen on publishing books, let me know. Books like by personal color, let me know. Holler in my direction. The times change depending on what I have each week, because as I said, I work as well and I freelance, so I work from home. So I'm a bit flexible with when I can stream. You can always watch stuff later. This is going through to Twitch right now and to YouTube as well. So you can always watch it on either channel. You don't need to log in to watch anything. People have been talking to me on Facebook saying, "Oh my god, we need to log in," and it's not the case. So please feel free to show up and be part of it. I don't know what I'm going to do today. So yeah, I'm just going to be editing a little post that I made. Need a username or password. Twitch or YouTube. So I've got up to, what was it? Was it like 42,000 words yesterday? So I run these on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and like if you want to keep an eye out for when I run them, I will let people know. If you're in one of the groups I'm in, if you signed up to my mailing list, if you follow me on Twitter, which is Vikramanaika, which might be very hard to find. I will type it in the chat. You can also read the novel on Patreon. So I do put the very messy, ugly first draft up on Patreon for $1 a month, and so you can follow it on there. And I might be too loud. I don't know how loud I am on here. Like sometimes when I play my stuff back, I'm going, "Oh God, I'm so loud." But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I never know what to put on here. But tell me, if you're like on Twitch a lot for these sorts of things, tell me what to put on here for like the game thing, because there isn't something that I can choose that comes to mind very easily and stuff. So just let me know what it is, and I'll have a Twitter link in the channel description as well, so you can always click that. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up my share screen option so that I learned this last time to share the whole thing. Otherwise, it goes belly up. So you're gonna get all cursive. It's going to be Mari's all the way down in a minute. Um, once I figure out what I'm going to do. Picture in picture, I think. And we also discovered that in order to do proper picture in picture, I need to take some of these things off so that you can see stuff. Picture in picture, can we do? Yes, we can. Haha! Picture in picture. Where am I? I I keep doing something wrong. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong. No. again. So yeah, that's why writer 6. I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. I started late, which was not my intention to do. So sometimes when I do these, sometimes when these streams, I have some people questions on Monday. That was really nice. Boring, I understand, because you just watch me like scribble by hand, and I look up and I go, "Oh my god, it's more than 10 minutes! Hey, I wrote this much." So it's definitely weird. I'm not sure I want to be writing right now. I think I'm gonna be trying to type. Like yesterday when I was trying to type in the writer 6, my arm was actually hurting, so I didn't get to write up a lot. So what happens is I tend to write my scenes. I put down the primary information about the scene, and then it serves as a mnemonic or memory device for when I type it back up in Writer 6. So I remembered I was going to talk about this, or I change things because I'm writing straight from my brain, and it's very easy to do that for me by hand. So then I remember, like when I read back over it, I go, "Oh, this needs to be changed slightly. I need to make sure this happens, or this is not going to work logically with the plot." So I make little notes to myself so you can see like that there's a highlighted note there. That's what I do. I put highlight no all caps. Like this thing. Put it up in pink here. What I need to do with that scene, and then I can do all that stuff when I type it in, or I can put a note in Writer 6 that I need to do that later on, and sometimes I might need to come back and handwrite a scene again, type it all up again, and decide which one of them I want to whatever, or merge it and all of that. So now come to what I believe is the last third of the book. I'm running into more problems with the whole how the timing goes. You have to remember so much that you talked about at the beginning of the story, and now you come into the crux when like you have to have all your ducks in a row. So sometimes I was like, I want something to happen, then I realize, oh crap, okay, later on I'm gonna have to cut that character out of here. I'm gonna break the scene in two or something like that. It's usually nothing major that means that the whole plot has to change per se, but it is stuff that needs to be fixed, basically. When I write in any sort of notebook. It doesn't really matter. When I is my unpublished book, which was in sorry, someone just messaged me. I'm not sure why. Or my first book, it's unpublished. It got longlisted, but it hasn't gone anywhere yet. When I first wrote that, it was all over the place. It was in a lot of different bunch of like very small. I still have it. There. Small exercise books and stapled together back to back to back, and I just hate them. But the bits and pieces of it all over the place, I remember, and I think that comes from when I was a kid. Oh my god, when I was a kid, how old am I? When I was a teenager, I was writing another book. That ended up being 400 pages long by the end. And I wrote it over the course of a year, 2 years. And I wrote it in all my school exercise books that I was writing notes in, so that would chemistry notes on one page and a whole scene on the page, and it was very weird because the teachers all thought I was studious, and all my friends sitting next to me knew what was going on. Like, are you ever going to take notes? Are you going to pass the exam? And it was like, well, I made a decision about what was more important, and yeah. It wasn't a great book, but I think it's so. The one thing it did was help me understand and again, because I think I work intuitively with writing at least, and a lot of other things sometimes. It helped me understand how to be pacing and structure a scene and keep people interested and stuff. And primarily also writing it mostly for myself because I thought I was writing for my friends to read, and then I realized after a while they were probably not gonna want to read it. And yeah, I ended up learning a lot, and I got a lot of cheesy ideas. I guess like I wrote them out, and I realized I got so much cheese, but it was good to get it out of the system. And I think that's very useful because we take in a lot of ideas about how to structure stories, how to run them, how to create them, what's in them from other sources. And we have a lot of weird ideas about what stories are supposed to be. And I guess when you're a teenager, where you have a lot of very odd ideas about how the world works, because you've only seen parts of it, and you have to infer a lot. And so it's good to get that out of your system because you don't. Sometimes you read what you write, even as a teen, like right after you read it, and then you go, "Oh wait, that doesn't sound logical or practical or realistic." Yeah. So and you realize how many things are cliche and overdone and stuff. So I think it's very useful to write a 400-page, like 15, 16. It's very useful if you go into writing. So to see if I can find some of the books. So this was one of them. This thing. This really weird thing. Oh, hold on. This is the 400-page thing I wrote when I was a teen. Oh my god, I'm going to read some really interesting things today. So, where is my book? Is it this one? Maybe it's it. I swear I had a book that I wrote sedition in. No, this is not the book you're looking for. But this is what, so, things stapled. And I think, interestingly enough, a lot of this stuff was, I don't know. This was just a no. Continued some of the story. I was writing this even in my early 20s because there's a bit from 2007 in here. Lots of things from 2007 in here. So I think I found this and just started writing in it again. So maybe like some of the stuff was from when I was oh, maybe not. Some of the stuff might be from when I was 16. Maybe some things were much older. It's for one of the funniest things about my writing is that I like to think a lot about how men feel. I have a lot of female characters, I do, but I also talk a lot about ideas of friendship with men, and even in my first book, one of the main characters is dealing with issues of friendship, and another minor character is grieving still for people he's lost, and you know, both a family member, but also both a spouse and a friend. And you think, like, obviously, like he'd be very cut up about the spouse, but in the moments that he appears in the storyline, he's mostly thinking about his friend. I mean, he does love his spouse, he does think about his spouse, and he does miss her, of course, but he's also very much thinking about his friend at key points, and that's the part that you see. So I think it's important with minor characters to understand that you don't get to see everything. uh, and for me, it was very, very interesting to see that, to work that out for myself as well. Like, I didn't expect it to happen. When I wrote my first book, it was sort of a mix of several books that came together. I wanted to write a book. I didn't have plot ideas per se, but I had thematic ideas. And then, I want to write a book about this sort of stuff, and I want to write a book about this sort of stuff, and I want to write a book about this. And one of those things was, what does it mean to be a man, right? And I guess, like, this person who would be grappling with not necessarily toxic masculinity immediately in their behavior, but maybe like the people around him, and coming to terms with maybe the fact that he wanted to be a different kind of person, and maybe that would render him no longer a man in his friend's eyes. And then, like, how do you cope with that when you've got this person who's a best friend who's not going to react very well to this? How do you distance yourself? How do you find new friends? How do you stop what you do? Do you distance yourself? Like, what happens, and how do you do all of this when you're like a baby in arms at 19, 20, just in the world, trying to make all at the time feel that potentially every decision that you make is so hugely important, and there's so much pressure on it because it could dictate the rest of your life. And so you never know what the right thing to do is as well. Like, you're like, I don't have a blueprint for any of this. Like, I don't know what to do. And even if I pick people that was the right thing to do, and I followed the advice of, say, parent, like, what if I, as a person, no matter how much I want to do that, I'm not cut out to do it, right? So, and I fail as a result. So it's all of this stuff, like, I think that's common to both men and women and all genders. So I should say both all genders of people. But I wanted to have at least one male character that was kind of going through all of that. So I did. It was interesting, I think, for him, and it got longlisted, and I wish it had been shortlisted at least, or it won something at least, because I really wanted it to go somewhere. Sigh, 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 sigh. And I don't expect it to be a brilliant book. I think a lot of the writing that I'm doing now, like, I think the writer, you evolve and you change over time, and you get better at the craft of writing. over time, right? So I tried very hard with my book. I wrote it over 12 years, and does get when it does get an offer to be published, it will probably need a lot more editing work going into it, which is fine. I'll be probably ready to do that at that point. But um, yeah, I think you just push through and continue on to get better. And I think I have gotten a lot better at like the whole idea, what I do in my practice writing, and understanding maybe how to build it in. A lot of times the whole reason my book took 12 years to write was because there was other stuff that I needed to get done and finish off everything. So that was more important because I had to survive, find, pay, all the rest of it. So yeah. C'est what to poisoning. So you gave something away. So this is the song that's in my head right at the moment. Okay. Will you please open? Okay, right. I thought I could double click that, so let's go into details. We are going to hospital. So I can't see the chat stream. If you're here, say hi, and I will check back every so often. But I can't see it while I have this up. But hopefully you can read along. And like I said at the start, this is going. I've updated. I have 41,000 words, 42,000 words, something like that. Where is it? Hold on, let me see. We have 42,321 words. Yay! Aiming for 50. Might get this done by 50 or 60. So I said at the beginning, I put parts of this up in order, so I kind of just go scene by scene on Patreon. And it's patreon.com/Marissa, Marisa. And you can subscribe for $1 or $2 a month, and you get to read everything, and you get to comment, you get to pick out names, you get to ask me questions, you can do anything really, whatever you want with it. But you get updates, but I think twice a month I will send you what I've written so far, scene by scene, so you don't get overwhelmed. And I think at some point I'm going to like send out a PDF to people so that it's a bit easier for them to read, like a collated PDF of everything so that they can read through it. Whenever I have to type, I always get like weird back pain and things because I'm turning constantly. 43,000. Woohoo! Slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah, I wanna say someday. I just realized something that I actually have to change. Um, yeah, then I have to change in the plot, but it's good because, like, this is the thing I was talking about when I wrote this by hand. I didn't realize I was gonna need to do this. I wasn't thinking about it, and so I just wrote this bit, and then there's a scene that kind of follows that is half not quite done. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, this is an important scene. I'm not sure it should be done in this way. I'm not going on. I don't know." And it was half written, like it's not finished as a scene. That's fine. And then I realized while I was typing this up, I was like, "Oh my god! Of course, this is going to be the next. Of course, they have to do this particular thing as the next." Right? And so I'm like, no, no, I need to now. I can't type up the scene that comes after this one because I need to write that other bit and like work it out and everything. And it's probably gonna go a different way. And oh my god, the book might be done. 'Cause I think from this point, everything is just gonna go super fast because, like, plot wise, like then they have to go and they have to find this out and then this out and then this out, and I was like, wait a minute. The moment they find this, it just the whole thing unravels. The whole thing unravels, and like things start slipping into place, and it can't. I could just easily write it in one scene, like the police found this, and then they figured this out, and like I could just write it all once. I don't think that would be enjoyable for the reader, frankly, but I could just do it in one scene, wrap the whole thing up. But no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to put it in several different scenes, obviously. But just unravels and wraps itself after this, so it goes quicker and faster. Brilliant. So, wow. Wow, I say wow. Yeah. Interesting. So I'm probably gonna call it quits here now. I'm sorry that we started late and I'm sorry we're finishing early. But if you want to watch this later and work on something while you do, you're pretty welcome to. Um, consider subbing, consider following me on things so that you can find out. I'm also debating a couple more interesting things, live streaming that you might like. So keep an eye out for things. I will catch you next Monday and Wednesday and Thursday. The timings might be slightly different. If you follow me on Twitter, you will find out what the times are as well. So do that, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.